back to another episode of Life at the Lodge. As you can tell, I'm at the lodge doing a minor kitchen renovation. We're going to replace the countertops, sink, taps, backsplash. The old ones were probably 20-25 years old, very dark, very dated, and needed to be replaced. So that's what we're up to this week. This week's video is a look back video on a hunt, actually two hunts that I did in Newfoundland. One with a gentleman by the name of Doug Turnbull of Turnbull Restorations. Doug is a very well-known, noted gunsmith in the United States and makes unbelievable handcrafted rifles, pistols, and other types of firearms. If you're into guns and into that type of thing, like I am, just Google or even search on YouTube Doug Turnbull of Turnbull Restorations, and I'm sure you'll like what you find. The hunt with Doug is a moose hunt. He's trying out one of his new rifles, so he's not very particular on what he gets, but he does shoot a decent Newfoundland moose, decent bull. And everything that goes on with that, so I'm sure you'll enjoy it. The second part of the hunt is a hunt that I did with Dean and Brian, two of my guides in Newfoundland. It was a late season hunt in mid-November. We were not expecting to get much. The rut was over, and it's very hard to get a big bull in Newfoundland if you can't call him, if you can't call him out to you, or if he isn't with a bunch of cows. So what we did is climb up on the highest hill we could find and sat there and glassed. And lo and behold, well, what we got is actually right there. That is the rack of the moose that we got. And it was interesting in that it was about 2 miles away. It took us about 2.5-3 hours to get to, and it was very hard to get on the moose, but I won't go too far into it and spoil it. The second really interesting part of it is there were actually two bulls, not just that guy. There was another one, and after reviewing the footage, we believe that the second one was even bigger than the one that I actually got. So I'm not going to go too far into it. It's a really cool video, so sit back and enjoy. Welcome to the show. On this episode of Hardcore Hunter TV, we're going back to Newfoundland to do my favorite thing, moose hunting. First up though, we've got Doug Turnbull of Turnbull Manufacturing and his guest Greg Zaccardi. Both guys booked a hunt with us through Fox Harbor Outfitter, so we're going to take care of them and get them their first Newfoundland moose. And once we're done with them, Brian, Dean, and myself are going to head back to a place that we know to see what we can't find. So stay tuned, you're not going to want to miss this. On this hunt, we get up early in the morning, head back to a bog that we know, make a few calls, and right off the bat, we start to see moose. Doug and I head out. We're trying to get up in front of the moose, trying to cut him off, but the moose catches us and he just stands there and stares. So the only thing we can do is try to get into position to take the shot. Doug's hunting with one of his custom-made lever action rifles with iron sights, so he's got a maximum distance of about 200-250 yards in order to take this moose. Doug finally gets into position, the moose turns broadside, and watch what happens. The moose goes out of sight of the camera. Doug takes one more shot and puts him down for good. Well, we're here with Doug Turnbull from Turnbull Restorations in the middle of Newfoundland, in the middle of a gale. You got winds probably 70-80 mile an hour. And look what Doug did. Doug showed up with his buddy Greg on Monday for a moose hunt. Greg got his bull, as you seen earlier in the show. Doug passed a couple. We seen one Monday, we seen them Tuesday, we heard another one yesterday. We come out this morning, we come down the lake, blowing a gale. We probably shouldn't have done it, but you know, we knew some moose were down this way, so we wanted to get her done. Doug, good job, brother. I really appreciate it.
Hey, wonderful time. Hey, you know, and I this thing. Boom, boom, every time. I'm sitting there with the camera going, holy crap. What a shot, y'all. Beautiful moose, beautiful job. And again, my man, good job. It was a pleasure. My pleasure.
Absolutely, sure is.
After finishing up with Doug's moose, it's finally my turn to go hunting. Brian and I head across the lake to a spot that we know, get set up, and start the call. As is always the case, whenever you decide not to shoot an animal, that's when the animal is going to give you every opportunity in the world to take them. But we made our decision. We decided that this isn't the bull for us, so it's just watch him walk and watch him do his thing. The next day we're high up on a ridge. We look down and look what we see. A beautiful, big, wide bull with a cow, but there's one little problem. He's across a river that you just can't walk across, so it's time to go get the Argo and see how we can make this happen. The only way we can get across the river is to use the Argo. An Argo is probably the best tool that I have as an outfitter in Newfoundland, but even Argos have their limitations. The current in the river is so strong that the only way we can do this is to float across in a boat, pull across a rope, tie the rope to the Argo, and use the rope to guide the Argo into the spot that we want to land on. It makes for an interesting trip, but it's all a part of Hardcore Hunter. With a little maneuvering back and forth, we finally get across and it's time to go after my bull. We get to where we see the bull. Brian makes his first call, and right off the bat, we have this smaller bull come out. We hunt the rest of the day, but as light starts to fade, we don't see our big bull. Another small bull comes out, but it's not what we want, so it's time to pack up and head across the river. After not being able to get on that bull that we've seen, we decide that we're going to move to another area. We go to a place that's high up on the hill where we can see a long ways. We start glassing, and right off the bat we start seeing lots and lots of moose. As I'm sitting here watching this caribou walk across, I happen to look across the valley, and what do I see but two monster bulls. The bulls are too far away to film with the camera, but it's time to make a plan and get over there. After almost 3 hours of going through some of the worst stuff that you can imagine, we finally get up on the moose. Both bulls are bed down, and now it's time to get into position and try to make the shot. The bulls are about 300 yards away. I have a bipod on my gun, and every time I set the gun down, the brush gets in the way and I can't get the shot. The whole time I'm trying to find a spot to get set up, all I can think is that both bulls are going to jump up and run out of my life forever. After what seems like an eternity, I finally find an area that I can get set up and take my shot.
What do you think of that, buddy? Aye?
I think that's about as awesome as it gets. Excellent. Good job. One shot, down you go.
Put you in there right on it.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Wicked. Wicked, wicked, wicked.
You're welcome.
Listen, I gotta say this in all sincerity. That moose belongs to Dean as much as it belongs to me. Because if you've seen where,
Yeah, he's done.
if you've seen where we come from to get him and how what we had to do to get here. Well, we left at 8 o'clock. It's 10:30. 2.5 hours to get into position.
That's what it takes to get the big moose fight. You got to go through a lot of stuff, and
A lot of stuff we went through hell to get here.
Yeah.
The woods, it was thicker than anything, but the number one thing is getting up in a position to be able to take a shot on a bedded down bull. Typically we don't shoot bulls in their bed, but at this time of the day he wasn't going anywhere, so other than sit here for 4 hours to wait to get him up, we just take a shot, and I was able to take him right back and knock him right down. So the other footnote to this is that moose is probably about 100 yards from where Greg Ritz shot his bull.
yeah.
We had Greg Ritz from Huntmaster over here at Fox Harbor about 2 weeks ago. Greg got a beautiful caribou and shot a beautiful bull, pretty much in the same, within 100 yards of where I shot him. The only difference is my bull might be just a little bit bigger than Greg's, just a little bit.
Just a little.
Boys, what a shot he made, boys.
Right there.
What a shot. He's a good shot. Took that moose one shot right down. And there's another big bull there. Area 18, Fox Harbor Outfitters. And here comes the other one. Boy. Look at that.
Got that filming, right?
Yeah. Look at that. That was it right off, boy. I think we got the bigger one, don't we?
Yeah, I'd say so.
No, that one got wide pans, didn't he?
I mean, how can you tell? It's two big bulls.
Well,
Beautiful, buddy.
Oh man, look at that. Oh yeah, that's one. I think that's the biggest moose I've shot yet.
Yeah?
What a nice moose.
What do you got, 16, 17 points on him?
What a
You can't tell by the points, folks. You gotta go by the,
yeah, by the size of the pans,
yeah.
the width, but you know, well, look what we got. It's almost the end of November, going into December. Moose season is pretty much coming to an end. We had, at Foxhide Roadfitters, we had the best year yet. Everybody except for maybe one or two guys got a moose. The other two guys that didn't had plenty of opportunities, passed up, and you know, it's just a part of hunting. Some stuff happens. You know, I've been hunting for the last 3 weeks, off and on, trying to get a nice animal. And we came out yesterday, Dean and I, and wound up scoring on a beautiful, beautiful moose that you know, anybody would be happy with. And I can tell you that I'm ecstatic, and it's a great way to end the show with you know, this beautiful animal. So now it's off to deer hunting. We're gonna do our deer season starts. I'm heading down to Florida with Dave to do some more hog hunting and some more alligator hunting. But I tell you what, right now it's all about moose, and you know, I just can't be happier with this. So got to get this guy dressed up, get him out. Brian's back on the lookout. He was acting as our lookout this morning, keeping an eye on things. So we've got about 6 hours worth of work here, and we'll get her done. So,
As every hunter knows, once you pull the trigger, all the fun's over and all the work begins. We spent the next 6 hours packing this moose out over the mountain, but it was worth every second. In all my years of hunting, I don't think I've ever been happier than to finally get to my bike.